Maka's Guides.
Hey guys, Maka here with completed episode number 77. Today we're playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, and it's a pretty cool episode for a couple of reasons. Number one, I believe I was first in the world to get this, but we'll get on that topic later on in the video. And another reason I thought it was pretty cool is because the last couple of completed episodes have all been pretty tough or long games, which is cool. I like covering these games instead of just the easy games. If you want to check out any of the previous episodes, feel free to check the link in the description. For those who might be new to the series, the completed series is a series where I take a few minutes to talk about a game that I recently completed. I tell you guys about the achievements and trophies, my personal experiences with the game, and if I think it's good. So, Ghost Recon Wildlands, my number one most anticipated game of 2017. I completed it. It came out on March 7th, but I was lucky enough to get it a couple of days early for review, and I started it on March 3rd and finished it on March 10th. Now, as far as I can tell, finishing it on March 10th, when I did in the wee hours of the morning, I was number one in the world, although obviously I had a pretty big head start. Now, during that week, I played the game for a total of 50 hours, and if you were to go for the completion right now, that's how long it would take you, plus or minus 5 hours. However, I did use a bit of a boosting method to get some resources to help speed up my process of getting skills, and I believe that's being patched in the next patch that's coming to consoles. And once it does get patched, the completion becomes 60 to 80 hours instead of 50, in my opinion. Now, during your time with the game, you'll be going for a total of 43 achievements or trophies. A lot of them are very back-loaded. What that means is that you don't get a lot at the beginning or the middle. Most of your achievements or trophies will be unlocking right at the very end of the game in the last few hours. Now, the gameplay you'll see on screen is my last few minutes with the game, where I'll unlock 3 achievements, one for collecting the assault rifles and one for collecting the legends, and also for buying all of the upgrades. Now, as for the achievement or trophy difficulty, I'm going to give the game a 4, but honestly, it might be closer to a 3. Realistically, there aren't very many difficult achievements or trophies in this game, especially if you're playing in co-op with a full squad, especially if you're playing on easy. But for most people who are playing on normal, and will probably be doing a little bit of a mix of co-op and a little bit of solo gameplay, a little bit of boosting, a little bit of grinding to get some of the resources, playing it somewhat normally, I would say it's a 4 out of 10 for achievement or trophy difficulty. It's not very hard. The hardest thing you'll probably have to do is kill 7 enemies with a C4 or a mine, and I have guides for that. You'll have to shoot some helicopters out of the air, very easy with a guide. So there's not too many tricky parts, but you do have to have some skill in order to be good enough to get through the game in the first place. Now comes the part of the video where I basically give a mini review of Ghost Recon Wildlands. I tell you whether or not I think it's worth your time. I tell you whether or not I think it's worth your money. And in this case, I'm giving the game a fun factor or review score for those who are very picky, an 8 out of 10. Now, to be super blunt, the game did not live up to my expectations. I thought it could have been a lot better, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game. So the first thing I'd like to point out is that the game in solo versus the game in co-op, they are two completely different experiences. And some people may like one and hate the other. For me, playing solo wasn't really that fun, but playing with friends was a lot more fun. So I'll start off with a small list of the things that I really like in this game, and obviously the graphics are amazing. The audio, anywhere from the gun sounds to the helicopters, everything sounds just right. The actual level design of each individual base is great. The open world is fantastic. Every different area feels completely different, and it's well designed. And it's huge, and overall the game is massive. On top of that, I think the story is very basic, but considering that you can kind of tackle everything in whatever order you like, I think they did a decent job. However, I do think the game has some serious issues. First of all, there's a lot of bugs which can sometimes be looked past. There are a lot of problems with the transportation in the game, specifically with the helicopter and vehicle choices. And I think there are some major issues with feedback telling the player what's going on. I also understand that the game was designed to be played however you want. I do wish there was some actual incentive to playing it properly versus just landing in the middle of a base and taking out the enemies Rambo style. It would have been nice to be rewarded for actual tactical gameplay like in past Ghost Recons. So my final verdict is that if you have a group of friends who you enjoy playing co-op games with, Ghost Recon Wildlands is a decent choice and it'll last you a very long time. However, you'll want to keep in mind that it does have its issues. I think it's a good game, but it's teetering on the borderline of being a great game, and it's a little bit of a missed opportunity in my opinion. It's just a little bit of cleanup that could have made it special. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you've made it this far in the video. Check out past completed episodes. Special thanks to Darth Dave 89 and Drop Dead Artemis for supporting the show on Patreon, and hopefully I see you guys next time. Peace.